Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the show today, winter aid distributions continue in South Africa as Tzu Chi volunteers hand out daily necessities and rice. In our regular look at the different trades in Taiwan, we learn about the making of eco-friendly plant dye products in Nantou. And 13 years after the 9/21 earthquake, we return to a school Tzu Chi rebuilt, the Xinse Elementary in Taichung, to visit its students and teachers. As South Africa is entering spring now, the temperature in Ladysmith, however, is only around 5 degrees Celsius. In 1994, Tzu Chi volunteers started to collect second-hand clothes to help the needy, and beginning 2003, volunteers have carried out annual winter aid distributions. This year, the aid supplies included seasonal food and clothes, as well as rice from Taiwan.
The Zulu in South Africa are chanting harmonious melodies to express their gratitude. In Ladysmith, less than 10% of total land is arable. During winter time, with its low temperatures and scant rainfall, it is good enough to just have cold meal. But Tzu Chi sends something even better, Taiwanese rice.
Enjoy the rice from Taiwan? Our people in Taiwan saw you on the from the photos. They will be also happy like you are.
The local residents are familiar with Tzu Chi as they have been receiving Tzu Chi's help since 1994. Their relationship has been further strengthened after Zulu volunteers joined in. They can say Ami Tuofo in Chinese, and Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan can also express their gratitude in Zulu to a Taiwanese businessman who provided transportation service.
You know, without him, I don't know how we're going to bring those rices and sand come to here in Burbank.
Thank you very much.
Putting coins into the bamboo coin bank, they are no longer only receivers of help.
Those bottles is very useful. Everyone want to join us? Do you want to join us? Please raise your hand.
In South Africa, Zulu means paradise, and Tzu Chi is the angel bringing happiness.
In Indonesia, Madan Tzu Chi volunteers are working with the Northern Sumatra police officers to hold a free clinic for local residents. 62-year-old cataract patient Kasni makes a living by running a convenience store. Besides raising her 2 grandchildren, she also has to pay for her husband's medical fees. Thanks to Tzu Chi's free clinic, Kasni was able to receive free cataract surgery, which alleviated some of her financial burdens.
Looking at old photographs, Kasni of Indonesia is unable to return to those days when her husband was chief of the village and she lived a life of grandeur.
Suami saya sekarang ini ada mengalami kegangguan lah sikit ya.
A car accident traumatized my husband's brain, causing his memory to fade. Now everything is up to me, and sometimes I feel very tired.
Saya kerja sendirian aja semuanya.
In these times, Kasni has no choice but to be strong mentally. In reality, her 62-year-old body is not made of rock, and cataracts have troubled her for many years. Tzu Chi volunteers and North Sumatra police, working together to provide residents with a free eye clinic, solved Kasni's vision problem.
I'm very grateful for Tzu Chi Foundation for giving me the opportunity for this surgery. I hope my vision will return and that I can see clearly again. Thank you everyone for all your help.
Dan terima kasih juga.
With everyone's help, Kasni has hope that her life, much like her vision, will get better.
As Moon Festival is just around the corner, Hualien Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the homes of care recipients to offer both blessings and mooncakes. However, unlike before, the volunteers decided to order mooncakes from a Bethesda home for handicapped as a way to encourage the students there.
As Moon Festival is just around the corner, Hualien Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the homes of care recipients to deliver volunteers' blessings from around the world.
The volunteers have been by my side through the hardest times until now. My daughter and I are very thankful. She's working now.
For the past 10 years, Du Fu Mei has run a small business to raise her 4 children. During her times of need, Tzu Chi volunteers reach out with a helping hand that later inspired Du to do likewise.
Sometimes the donation is about 1,000 NT dollars. Sometimes it is about 500 to 600 NT dollars. There are coins, but it adds up. When we come visit her, she always donates the money to Tzu Chi.
Walking along Fushi village, volunteers arrive at the home of Huang Meizhen, who takes care of her mother on her own in spite of her young age. The love and care she received from Tzu Chi gave her the strength to face life with a positive attitude.
When I was young, she took care of me, and now I'm just doing the same. Many have asked me, isn't it hard work? Or say what I am doing is amazing. I always tell them to think about how their mothers took care of them. What I'm doing now is to reciprocate the love my mother gave to me.
For the first time, Hualien Tzu Chi volunteers are working with the Bethesda Home for the Handicapped by purchasing mooncakes made by the students there as gifts for care recipients. This way, volunteers can care for both the students and the care recipients.
I'm very happy that Tzu Chi gave our students this chance, the chance to work with the volunteers.
For the students in Bethesda Home for the Handicapped, the making of mooncakes is not only a skill, but also a way to stabilize their state of mind. Thanks to the volunteers, this year's Moon Festival will be a warm one for care recipients and students alike.
In our continuing look at Taiwan's fading trades, today we go to Nantou's Zongliao Township and meet a group of experts in making plant dyes. In 1999, the 9/1 earthquake devastated central Taiwan, and many houses were destroyed in Zongliao, leaving families with heavy financial burdens. With help from the National Taiwan Craft and Development Institute, a group of women began learning about plant dye. From recognizing the different plants to making the dye, these residents not only gained the skills to make a living, but also found the strength to go on. Wearing clothes designed with plant dyes and putting on a fashion show, the smile these models wear are the best catch. It's hard to imagine behind these happy smiles, these women, all over 50 years of age, were the victims of the 9/1 earthquake in 1999.
It was shaking really bad and I was frightened. My mother-in-law kept telling me to get outside.
I was so afraid that I crouched down by the door, and luckily I didn't come out, or else I would have been smashed.
The quake destroyed many homes and left families with heavy financial burdens. Thus, this group of women started attending a plant dyeing class.
Here in Zongliao, we are surrounded by mountains, and there's a variety of plants. We thought we should teach these moms about plant dyes so they can make a living.
The first step to learning about plant dyes starts with recognizing each different plant.
This is the leaf. This is the branch. Both can be used to make dyes, even the fruits.
With experience, these women can now recognize a variety of plants.
You can dye this old fabric too. It will turn out to be green. light green. This color is best suited for scarves.
Handmade plant dyes have no chemical additives, and the coloring will not contaminate our hands. The plants are first collected and next cut into smaller pieces.
We chop it and give it a wash. For every kilo of fabric, we need 5 kilos of plant dyes.
After being cleaned, the plants are put into pots to boil, and what's left after the filtering are the liquid dyes. Next, it is time to put in the fabrics.
We must stir it like that, so the color will stay on the bottom. It can't be like this floating on top.
The plant dye process is labor-intensive, from collecting the plant, controlling the coloring, designing the patterns, to the drying of fabrics. The whole process takes nearly 24 hours to complete. After turning the dyed fabrics into different products, these women are then able to sell them to make a living.
We no longer bury things inside, but instead we talk about it with others. Some experienced the quake, some lost their loved ones. After getting to know each other, everyone started sharing their stories, and slowly we let go of the past.
Hand in hand, these Dongliao residents are painting their lives with beautiful colors through the making of plant dyes. Each and every woman of the plant dye workshop has a story of their own. Among them is Wu Chou, who is now over 70 years of age. Wu lost family members to the 9/11 earthquake, and her husband also suffered from loss of hearing. Despite having her house completely destroyed and becoming the breadwinner at home, Wu Chou never gave up, but instead devoted herself to learning how to make plant dye products. In the past 2 years, the senior has even been invited to be a teacher at the local community college. The hill behind her house is Wu Chou's secret garden.
This is mulberry. It can be used as a dye or as food. It will come out as a yellow color.
For easy access to plants, Wu Chou decided to grow them herself.
When someone wanted to order a certain color, we would have to go up to the mountain looking for the plants. Sometimes it took the whole day with no luck. So I thought, since we have a huge garden behind us, we should grow our own plants.
Though Wu grew up in the mountains, little did she know that these plants works wonders. It was after the 9/11 earthquake that she began learning the craft. The earthquake not only destroyed her house, but took the lives of 2 of her brother-in-laws. And her husband also lost his hearing from shock.
My husband couldn't work, so I had to be the breadwinner. I don't make much, but just enough to get by.
Shouldering the financial responsibility at home, Wu Chou had no excuse to fail. Apart from dyeing the fabrics during the day, she continues to work on getting the coloring right when she returns home.
Some turned out ugly because the coloring wasn't clear. We didn't know that some plants, like teak wood, we can just chop them and use a whole bucket of dye to boil the fabrics.
After countless failures, Wu Chou is now an expert in making plant dye products.
The more I do, the more experience I gain, and the prettier my patterns become. This is the harvest of our hard work.
She spends more time on one thing than most other people and devotes herself to her work, so I feel that I must learn from her.
This is angel trumps. It grows along the tree branches.
A teacher at community college, Wu Chou has also been invited to teach children at local schools.
We dye using this angel trumps plant, but we also had to add vinegar. It comes out as a yellow color.
Not a fluent speaker of Mandarin, Wu Chou communicates to the children in her mother tongue.
Don't put this here or the flowers will separate.
A first-time experience for many, all these youngsters are proud to see their final work.
I got to know many different plants today, and the fabrics all came out really nice.
I think plant dyes are really interesting, and it's great that we get to make them ourselves.
Cho sees the 9/21 earthquake as a turning point in life, as it leads her to becoming a plant dye expert. Last Friday marks the 13th anniversary of the devastating 9/21 earthquake in Taiwan. After the earthquake leveled many schools, Tzu Chi started its Hope Project to help rebuild 51 schools. Next, we return to Xinse Elementary, the first school to be completed, and see how these students are now under the positive influence of Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirits.
In Taiwan, students from Xinse Elementary School read out loud Jing's aphorism. Since the rebuilding efforts of 9/21 earthquake, the teachings of aphorisms has never left.
Tzu Chi volunteers will come by the class every week. Even after they leave, we try to actualize Jing's aphorisms in the students' lives.
Besides incorporating the aphorisms into daily life, teachers also design their teachings so that the students not only speak aphorisms, but also have them embed into their hearts.
Learn tolerance, judge calmly, and trivialize situations. This taught me that when others do things that hurt me, I should forgive them.
Well-versed in Jing's aphorisms, the school not only continues Tzu Chi's teachings, but also has taken it one step further with its tea party with the principal.
Welcome students to the principal's office for a tea party.
Every week, each class will nominate one student to attend the principal's tea party, where the principal will share with the students' merits for everyone to hear.
Concentrates in class, very polite and kind, never late.
This is the 4th time I was chosen to attend the principal's tea party. I like coming here to hear about others' good points, as I can learn from them.
The school not only works on improving behavioral problems, but also teaches the students to protect the earth. This delicious vegetarian lunchtime meal is served once a week.
Master Zhen Yan taught us about global warming and its effects. We want to pass on the message to our students. So we thought if we gave them vegetarian meal, maybe we can help the planet while helping our health as well.
Thanks to Master Zhen Yan's words, Vegetarian Meal Mondays has been a part of the school for the past 2 years and has been well received by students.
I'm eating vegetarian meals for my health and to help me lose weight.
Being a vegetarian means I don't have to eat meat, so animals can continue to live. So I chose to eat vegetarian meals.
Great love is the bridge and wisdom is the wall. These build the foundation for our future. With the leaders of the school vowing to walk on the Bodhisattva path, Tzu Chi's humanistic spirit will always be present.
For the past week, our DaAi TV reporters have been traveling with researchers as they brave the wild in search of Taiwan's fading native species. Field research sounds romantic to many, but the reality is researchers spent much of their time in some very inhospitable and strange situations. However, there's no complaining, as all of them, without exception, love what they do and feel they have the responsibility to do what they can for the sake of Taiwan's wildlife. In our next report, we follow 3 researchers as they conduct their research, where our DaAi TV reporter learns that taking care of Taiwan's wildlife is not as simple as a trip to the zoo.
It is a hard slog as we follow our guide into the darkness, and the actual work has yet to begin.
Sometimes the graves have a small statue of the land god or something similar. Try not to step on them. We will a search in that direction, it tends to be quite there, and the green iguanas like it and tend to breed there. A friend was doing research in the area on birds, and he saw them, and he guessed that they might be around this area. So we came at night to check. There was a period of time when I was constantly checking around the graves, around the area where a few older men were responsible for taking care of the graves. Every time they saw me, they remarked, "Oh, it's you again." Yes, no one else dares come with me. I think that you two are really brave to come with me.
In darkness so black we can't see a hand in front of our face, we look for the recluse iguana, but the elusive creature evades us. In the future, if you see a light coming from a graveyard at night, don't be alarmed. It's not a ghost, but a researcher hard at work.
I don't have any problem with it. Also, I'm not afraid of getting dirty. But for some people, all of that, plus the mosquito is just too much for them. But I can handle it fine. I have been researching frogs for a long time. A big reason is that they are so cute. I started with the Taipei tree frog.
Yang Yiru, or the frog princess as she is sometimes called, does not look like someone that has committed her life to field research. Seeing a thicket of long grass, Yang unexpectedly plunges in.
You're all very brave to come along with me like this. You're not afraid that I might get us lost.
In the face of environmental destruction, the frog princess does her best to ensure that Taiwan's native frogs carry on.
The striped turtle that is so commonly seen in Taiwan, in fact, 90% of its population in the wild is found here in Taiwan. I bet you didn't know that.
King of the turtles, Chen Tianxi, spends his days walking along riverbanks researching the turtle's ecosystem.
Look, the water here is so dirty. Students don't like to come here. In Taiwan, almost every person has had an experience with heat stroke, as it is hotter and more humid here.
This dirty water channel is in fact the frequent stomping grounds of Chen, and he finds himself captivated by what lies within.
Did he take the path we came on? We can just turn around here too and climb up to get back. Field work is difficult. For example, for those of us that are over 40 years old, why are we still running around outside? Of course, it is because this is our interest. As well, we believe we have a responsibility to protect the environment. We just hope that life can continue on, regardless of the shape it takes.
In the tall grasses, by the riverbanks, or in the deep forest, one can find Taiwan's researchers out in the field doing what they love as they work to save our planet.
To help poor children increase their knowledge, Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States donated 500 boxes of books and stationery, which arrived in South Africa in May. Recently, Ladysmith Tzu Chi volunteers are distributing them to students before school starts. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.